Good morning. So I'm sure you've noticed the church looks a little bit different this morning, kind of bare. When I walked in here today, I was kind of like, oh boy, it looks a lot bigger, a lot more encompassing. And we call this ordinary time. And I've always been kind of struck by that. What does that mean? The ho-hum? I mean, that's so anti-American that we always want to be excited. We always want to be lifted up. But the ordinary time for us is to understand this is the time that we learn from the teachings of Christ. We know who Christ is now. We know that he is the Son of the Father, that he loved us so that he came down and took on our form. He lowered himself. But he also speaks with this divine authority. And where does this authority come from? It comes from the idea that Christ basically talks the same game that he plays. There's no duplicity in him. That he speaks through his actions and his words. That was the difference, I'm sure, between him and the scribes. How many times that we say that we love Christ and we want to be more Catholic and Christian, which granted we all are, but how many times do we act that out in the real world? Now I look at all your shining faces, and I'm always so happy that you're here, that you understand this is the summit of our day, is coming to Mass, to be with Christ, to be sitting at his feet, to receive him, to understand him. And all those that come on Sunday, that we understand that we are always here to learn from Christ and to be like him and to emulate him as much as we can. And we see the authority that he has. If we had done the reading from the first letter of the Hebrews letter was an answer to people, to the Hebrews, most likely not written by Paul, but what it was trying to do is to understand, for the Hebrews to understand that Christ was truly the Messiah. Because you have to remember, they thought it was going to be this military power. The Jewish people thought that God was going to come down and strike the world down, and they were going to be in control, and everything was going to be perfect. The peace of the Lord would be throughout the world, which we do know now comes in the afterlife, that we are going to that kingdom, and that kingdom can also be here with us if we follow the teachings of Christ. So during this time of the ordinary time, maybe if we just spend a few moments to make sure that we are evangelizing Christ's message, not through words, but also through our actions. And that's my prayer for everyone today, that we open ourselves up to trust more and more into the Lord.